Thank you. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. I want to say thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. I want to say thank you. Oh, thank you, 'cause I'm so grateful. Yes, I'm very grateful. Oh. Wow, how wonderful is today. I was having so much fun with the kids that the time just slipped away from me. What a great discussion with these teenagers. I can't even, wow. Right? They blow your mind every single time, every single time. I'm just so excited about it. Announcements for May. Sunday, May 4th, which is today, we have the Leadership Council meeting right after celebration. You're more than welcome to come join us so you can see how the ebb and flow here at OakBrook Center for Spiritual Living works. And I want you guys right now to pick up your phone, man. Check in with Facebook and Twitter and all of that fun stuff and say, hey, come on down. You're missing a great, great time here at OakBrook with all your friends. And I plan on doing that too as soon as I get to my seat. If you need help with that, please let someone in the tech department know that you need help with your smartphone. That might not make you feel so smart sometimes. You're also going to go ahead and sign in on the sign-in sheet that's going around. It's on the little clipboard. Each row has its own. So you're just going to pass it across the aisle as it goes. If you can please do that for me, I would really appreciate it. The reason we do that is so that if people, miss a Sunday or 2 or 3 or 7, we can contact them and find out if they're okay. Because sometimes you don't remember. You get caught up in life and what's going on with you that you forget that people care about you and love you and want to know if you're all right. Friday, May 10th at 7:30 p.m., the family movie night is Ender Game. Oh, I haven't. Well, you can be here for Friday, May 10th at 7:30 p.m. It's a family movie night. They really have a good time. They have popcorn and they watch a good movie. Have you guys seen it? How many people have seen this yet? Yeah? And the rest of you, I expect you here Friday, May 10th, because you have not seen it yet. Oh, you can come see it again. That's right. I don't know. Saturday is the 10th. Oh. Friday is Friday karaoke? This is first Friday? This is the second Friday? Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, well, then we have karaoke and open mic night on Friday the 9th. And then we have the movie on Saturday the 10th. So that should be interesting. A whole fun-filled weekend planned here at OakBrook. So how cool is that? Oh, I keep hitting the wrong thing here. 3 easy ways to tithe. You can either put cash in a tithe envelope. And please do that, you guys. Get a tithe envelope. Put the cash in there. So that way our secretary can figure out, how much you're tithing throughout the year so that we can give you a statement for your taxes at the end of the year. That's always nice to see that check because then you can say, oh, my gosh, I made 10 times this for the year. It blows your mind. It really does. Because you don't think about it when you're paying your bills and the money's dwindling away. But when you see that check and you go, oh, my goodness, this is only 10% of what I did. You feel very empowered. I know I do. If you have a prayer request, that little slip in your handout is actually your request form. Go ahead and fill it out throughout the service. And when the baskets are going around, we have a treasure chest. You're going to hold it up like this, and the treasure chest will find you. And we have the Ministry of Prayer team is going to be praying on that the entire week. So, it doesn't matter what the prayer request is. Just know that the answer is already there for you. And please silence your electronic devices at this time. I have to say that because we have teenagers who don't have just cell phones. They have all kinds of other stuff. So we don't want anything beeping in the middle of the service. So please, if you can go ahead and silence that right now, I would appreciate it. And now we got Miss Carol. Oh, you have another announcement. Come on up, Cindy.
Good morning, everyone. I think I see some new faces. Welcome to our guests. Guests here? Raise your hands. I want to make sure that you get a little welcome packet if you're a new person. So thank you for being here this morning. I will be teaching 2 classes. I started a class with the youth several weeks ago, and one of them had to drop out. So the class became a little too small, I think, for it to be really a rich experience for them. So I will be starting that up again this summer for our youth. It's our introductory class, and I hope that some of our new young people back there will come and join us. It's a great time in the summer while you're not doing anything else. Why not come here and be enriched and have some fun and learn a little something about yourselves and how the world works. And I will also be doing an advanced course for the adults. It will be, I believe, Essential Earnest Homes for anyone who would like to take that course. And you need to have taken foundations in order to take that. I don't believe we have a sign-up sheet yet, but if you would just let me know so we can start figuring out what day of the week and what time works best for everyone, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy. How wonderful. Carol? She was busy hugging. Yeah. Hey, you know what? Can you hug me too?
I hugged this morning.
Oh, I do love that.
You hugged me right out of my shoe. Good morning, everybody. I always think I should make a grand entrance. So this morning we're going to talk about being gentle with ourselves. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe. No less than the trees and the stars, you have a right to be here. Max Ehrman. Always one should be conscious of the idea of wholeness of life, perfect function at every point. The Science of Mind, page 239. Hello, amazing souls. This is the perfect day to celebrate you. Isn't it exciting to be moving on your path of discovery through various expressions? Isn't it powerful to recognize that you are an extraordinary creator? This journey of life is such a mystery. It can be a joyous ride, or the challenges can seem overwhelming. What is true is that every moment is an opportunity to be gentle with yourself. What if everything that you were doing or have ever done is part of this incredible journey called life? What if you are being asked by the universe to pause and move deeper into the inner realms of your consciousness? What if the entry point into that place is gratitude for who you are and who you are becoming? There is such a propensity to judge our progress or lack of progress. Many of us have lived inspiring and extraordinary lives and still do not think it is enough. Please remember that you are enough because you exist. You are enough because the breath of life is breathing you. You are enough because the world is complete because you are here. Take some time to be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge how far you've come and how much you have learned and what an amazing heart you have. Please pause and honor the amazing you. And if we could do the affirmation together. I take some time to give thanks for the ways I have express love, compassion, kindness, and grace. And so it is.
Thank you, Carol. And welcome everyone to OakBrook. It's nice to be up front for just a little while this morning. I'm not going to be our main speaker today. Beth Linguri will be doing that, Reverend Beth from Geneva, Switzerland. But let's begin now by standing and singing Love Moves the World.
Just one life, that's all that we've been given here. Just one chance to make a difference where we live. I'm just one man, I'm only human, but only human means I've got a lot to give. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the tree. Feel the wind of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Look around, there's someone hurting near you. Look around, there's something you can do. Look within you and find your spirit. To change the world, there's got to be a change in you. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the tree. Feel the wind of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Love can move the world as the moon in the sky moves the sea. Love can cause the wars to cease. Love can move this world to peace. It's a tide that begins with you and me. Oh, love can move the world as the warmth of the sun moves the tree. Feel the wind of love increase as we move this world to peace. Come love the world with me. Come love the world with me.
Let's greet and welcome one another, shall we? celebration. Please do enjoy your hugs. Best time of the morning. Maybe we could turn the air down just a little. Norma? Oh. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to lead us in our affirmations this morning. This first affirmation is a wonderful one written by Reverend Beth. So let's enjoy it together. This is something we could affirm every day of our lives. I am at home in the universe, wherever I may be. I am one with God and one with all people, knowing there is a divine presence closer to me than my very breath, and realizing that I live in the one perfect Spirit, that the God around me and the God within me is one God. I acknowledge the oneness of all life everywhere. I know that everything in my experience is good, is multiplied and increased. I give it out with no thought of return, that it may bless others who are some part of me, because God is in them, in me, and we are in each other. And so it is. And then from what we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. And then our OakBrook affirmation. Let's take a deep breath. Ready? Okay. I am thankful for OakBrook, for the teaching of the science of mind as an empowering way of life at every age, and for the abundance it brings into my life, my center, and my world. I am grateful for our ever-growing spiritual community of love, freedom, and acceptance. I celebrate with a thankful heart our beautiful new spacious center as we welcome our divine unfoldment through gifts of music, encouragement of our youth, and all life-enhancing activities. OakBrook's vision supports us all in experiencing full and realized lives as Spirit in expression. God's love empowers. And now Reverend Vicki with our invocation. You just want to stand down there? That's a great idea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's just take a deep breath and feel the power of Spirit in this room. We know that our coming here today was divinely guided and directed, for we know where and how to get into that space where we feel in our heart that all is good. And if we are in a space where we need more love, all we have to do is look around, and that love is surrounding you. And so it is that we go into this beautiful day with thanksgiving in our heart for the blue sky and the bright sun. Thanksgiving in our heart for this wonderful sanctuary, for all the talented people and all the people that said yes to God. And so I know that we are so blessed as Reverend Beth gives a wonderful message for us, because just like her affirmations, we know that she uncovers something that we really need to look at. And having looked at it, it is healed. And for all our healings, we give great thanks. And so it is.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Give it up again for Cindy. Wasn't that fabulous? It's a hard song to sing. Thank you so much. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are we? How are you? Well, happy May Day. May Day was actually Thursday. Right, Thursday. But, and I think it was it celebrated? You had a wonderful celebration for May Day. We celebrate May Day over in Europe, where I live. It's a big holiday there. What holiday is it? Do you know what it is in Europe, all over the world, except in the United States? It's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. And actually, the idea of celebrating May Day as Labor Day began in this country It began in Chicago some years ago when there were some riots and the workers were wanting to have an 8-hour workday. So they had some parades and some riots, et cetera, and they did, in fact, remember that day as Labor Day for many, many years until finally it went to Australia, and now it's all over the world. And the only country we don't celebrate that is in the United States, where we celebrate Labor Day in September, I believe. Anyway, what does May Day mean to you? For me, when I remember it, I remember as a young person doing something for others, service. We, as young teenagers in our community, we had a pancake breakfast for the adults, and we got behind the stove and we cooked and prepared pancakes and served it to everyone. And it was a big, big treat for us to serve. It was great fun to do. I was just speaking with a friend, my friend Reverend Patty, who lives out in California, and she says on May Day she makes little bouquets of flowers and takes them to everyone in her neighborhood. And that's her service and her gift. And I'm sure there are customs in other families of celebrating this day. When I was thinking of speaking about May Day, which is the topic that came to me, I was thinking of something else, and that was this vision that you see up on the screen. I don't know if you can see it very well, but what is it? Maypole. Think of the maypole, and I don't know if have you ever danced the maypole? And you sort of need to move in and out, and you're working together, and you're creating something together, and if one person sort of takes a misstep, the whole thing sort of doesn't work. So it takes lots of practice and lots of sensitivity to others and lots of working together. And so this became my idea to share with you today about how I believe that this teaching is so powerful in the world today that we can bring it out and it can make a difference. It can really make a difference. It can change the world, as John Lennon believed so many years ago in that song that we sang, that Cindy sang for us. But there's another meaning for May Day. Does anyone know what it is? May Day, May Day, May Day. When repeated 3 times means? Help me. Where does that come from? How does that come from May Day? Airplanes, yeah, it's a distress signal that airplanes use. Well, apparently, when I Googled it, the information I came up with was that May Day in this context, although it's spelt M-A-Y-D-A-Y, actually comes from the French. And there's a French word called aider, which is the verb to help. And the M in front of it makes it help me, m'aider. And it became May Day. So we don't even know how interconnected we are and how we rely on things that other people have created to make a universal term that's all over the world. Anywhere in the world, if you hear Mayday, Mayday, Mayday 3 times, it means I'm in distress and help me. And the airline pilots and many, many people use that expression. But the picture of Mayday that I'm sharing with you today is this one that we have up of the maypole, and this working together to create this amazing, with all these ribbons and moving around in and out, intertwining and becoming something beautiful that we have created together, working together. To show how interconnected we are as a humanity, the quantum physicists have come up with an idea called the tangled hierarchy. Has anyone heard of this? Have you seen it in your... Yeah. Those of you who are taking Goswami's classes have talked about the tangled hierarchy, and it's a very interesting concept. I'm not going to go into it in detail this morning, but I love to think of it. If you think of out there are all the different possibilities. And if we look at 2 pictures, there's a picture of all the possibilities, and maybe there is war and grief and resentment and poverty and all of these expressions. But equally so, there's always the possibilities for love and compassion and joy and harmony and working together. And those exist as possibilities just as equally as anything else. And you know what it depends on, what happens? It depends on what we choose. Depends on what we choose. That's a powerful concept. Each one of you can make that choice each day, and that can make a huge difference. Just as those moving around in that maypole, our energy, whatever we choose, makes the difference. Makes the difference. So we remember the creative process, the way it works. We remember that a basic teaching is our thoughts create our reality. Right? Basic part, our thoughts create our reality. Okay? So we choose our thoughts. The emotions create the energy. So when we bring emotion to this, we can actually bring that feeling to our thoughts. And then the third step is we create an intention, a purpose. We focus it on a specific task or a specific goal, and voila. That is how it happens. That is how it works. And so that gives us a real basis on which to move into our next stage. I love the way Ernest Holmes puts this together in a mantra, which I use constantly. I used it just the other day, or just in any instance when I feel that things are just not going the way that I had hoped or envisioned or wanted at that moment, or was feeling some real, whatever emotion it might have been, anger or resentment or whatever. And we had an instance just this past week where we had our phone call, our conversation. I work every week with our group in Geneva, in Europe, and we're creating this event in the summer, the conference, which we invite you all to participate in. I thought I had some brochures around here, but I didn't see any this morning, so I'll bring some more, because we want you to be included in this event. Even if you don't feel right now that you're going to be able to purchase an airline ticket and fly across the ocean to be part of it physically, I am inviting you all to be part of this event because your participation is so important. But I love the way that Ernest Holmes describes this in his writings. And he always says, if you open up his the textbook, Science of Mind textbook, which I do frequently, very often you will see on the page this statement. He brings it into so many different parts of his teaching. There is one life. That life is God's life, or whatever we call the power that is up there, that creative source of the universe. There's one life. That life is that power of the universe. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. It is your life now. It is our life now. We are one in that one life. This is a statement, this is a little mantra, this is a little thing that you can remember any time of the day or night. We had, as I was opening this up, we had a conversation on Skype, on the internet, and all of a sudden there was a misunderstanding. Someone hadn't been present for a couple of weeks, something had happened, and you could see there was anger, there was resentment, there was, oh, no, how did you do that? Why did you do that? I mean, that's not what we were going to do. And you could just feel this energy coming up, and I started to repeat it to myself. There's one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life right now. That life is this person's life. That life is in this experience. And all of a sudden, it just dissipated. It just moved into this harmonious, oh, someone said, well, you could see this as freeing for you, as the universe offering you a gift so that you could do something else. And yes, and the whole atmosphere changed. We have, every Wednesday, we have our president of Centers for Spiritual Living has a conversation on the telephone, and you can tune into it, and there are different speakers. And I happened to listen about a month ago to one of our ministers out in California, Edward Viljoen. I don't know, he's South African originally. And he's written a new book about meditation. And they spoke about, John Waterhouse spoke about an instance in which at our big major conference with 500, 600 people, Edward Viljoen spoke about this very mantra. there's one life. That life is the universal energy of the world. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is my life now. And he created a mantra and he created a song out of it. And everyone in the whole community was singing this song. So they went on a bus trip to visit something nearby. And they were supposed to get back. All of the ministers were supposed to get back for an event. And all of a sudden the bus got lost and broke down. And one of them said, well, how could you do that? You know, and you could see this energy and all of this negativity coming up. And all of a sudden, one of the ministers started to sing this mantra. There's one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. And they all started to singing that. All of a sudden, they realized after half an hour singing this mantra, they were home, back to the conference center. And it all worked out perfectly, and they got back to their center. So, why am I saying this? Why am I bringing this? This is a wonderful concept that we can use every day in our life. And it works, and we know it, and we do use it. But I believe that it's a wonderful concept to bring peace to the planet as well. And that's what I've set about to do in my so-called senior wisdom years, is to bring this teaching to as many different people as possible in many different ways. And I've chosen the city of Geneva, Switzerland, because that is where so many people really are working towards peace. They've discovered, and they're challenged by different ways to create peace on the planet. And one way they've chosen is activism. Let's get out and march. Let's get out and do something. Or let's go out into the world and bring the message and tell people how it is. And there's the Red Cross. We're doing all kinds of good work. And Doctors Without Borders and all of these. I mean, everybody wants peace. Don't you want peace on the world and the planet? We all do. And yet, and all of the activities that we have been engaged in so far just aren't working. So I fell upon this book in the bookstore, Peace is the Way. And I thought, well, I just really don't need another book. If you saw my house, both of them, the one in Switzerland, the one here, they're just books everywhere. So I picked it up anyway, and I said, well, it just kept speaking to me. So I picked it up and looked at it, and I put it back, and then finally I took it home. Today I paid for it. It's exciting. It's exciting because this teaching that we're talking about, this idea of the one life, of the one that we are all part of, we talk about it, we say it, but he puts it into a way that we can actually do something about it, and it gets some wonderful ideas. What he's saying in the book is that we are really at a tipping point. We know now that none of the ways that we've tried before have worked. And we know that we are constantly creating our world through our thoughts. Change your thinking, change your life. Right? Didn't we talk about it last week? Turn it upside down. What was it? Do a 180. Look at it a different way. Change your thinking, change your life. We know that that works. And we know that the emotions give it power. And what I'm suggesting, and what he suggests in this book, is that our relationships become the crucible, the place where we can create peace in the world. Because we can start right with ourselves and with our intimate relationships. And there we move out into our relationships in the universe. And what he's saying is, and what this teaching brings to me, and what has inspired me to create this Center for Peace in Geneva, Switzerland, is this same idea. That we need to remember who we are. We need to remember that we are one with each other, that we are one with the power of the universe. And when we stay in that place, a little bit each day, just that little bit of changing our thinking, changing our relationships, and bringing peace into each relationship that we have. Each one. Whether it's with our significant other, with our children, with our parents, with our boss in the workplace, with the people on the roadway driving down the work, cutting in front of you, with the doctor's office. One of my favorite people watching times is in the airport. I don't know, do you ever do people watching in the airport? I used to dread it when my plane was delayed, and all of a sudden when I got into people watching, I thought, oh, another chance, another opportunity. And if I monitored my thoughts, not all of them were quite positive. In fact, I might be, ooh, why did she wear that? Or, how come she's shouting at her child? Or, I don't know. If you monitor your thoughts, sometimes they run off like that, don't they? At least, maybe I'm the only one. But it happens to me. It happens to me. Until I started to remember who I am. Remember my power. And remember that I'm one with this individual. That's a challenge, isn't it? To look at people and say, oh, there I am, in that disguise. That was Mother Teresa's saying, wasn't it? I see Jesus in 1,000,000 disguises every day, or 100 disguises every one. Like she sees the God, the sense, the perfection, the oneness, that power of the universe. She sees that in each individual. And so I started to see that when I watch people, and I said, oh, yeah. I'm one with that person. That's one with me. It's just changing that around. And the fun thing is that you can look at a person and love them and give them positive energy. And negative, that guy shouting saying, how can you delay this flight? I've got to catch this flight. I've got to be somewhere and somewhere. He's all upset, and you can just breathe peace into that situation. There's one life. That life is my life. That life is that person's life. And all of a sudden, that person just calms down. It's so powerful. Try it. It's a great experiment. The laboratory of our lives, of spiritual growth, is in our relationships. Every time I offer a course in Geneva and I ask people what they want, relationships. Relationships. We need to be in relationships, and we need to get along with each other. And this getting on with each other in whatever relationships we have is the best place to put these principles into practice. It's a wonderful opportunity to grow. So you can make a difference. You can make a difference in the world today. I'm going to read to you the way Ernest Holmes says it, because it's so powerful. It's so powerful to me. And I love to just open it up, just any page, and see what comes in there, what excitement I read in these pages. And I just opened up this one this week, and here's what it says. Okay. There should always be a recognition of the absolute unity of God and man, the oneness, inseparability, indivisibility, changelessness. God is the big circle, man is the little circle. Man is in God and God is in man. Just as a drop of water is in the ocean, while the ocean is in a drop of water. Did you ever watch the ocean? The wave and the ocean are one, but each one is different, and it changes, but it's still part of the ocean. That's a wonderful picture. If it's hard for you to grasp this idea of being one universe and each one of us part of it, just watch the ocean and you can feel that. This is the recognition which Jesus had when he said, I and the Father are one. There's a perfect union. And to the degree that we are conscious, I love this word, to the degree that. To the degree that. Just remember that. To the degree that you are conscious of it, that you're aware of it, it works. There is a perfect union, and to the degree that we are conscious of this union, we incorporate this in our word. Within the infinite mind, each individual exists, not as a separate identity. We are a point, not as separated, but a separate entity. Okay? We are not separated. We are each separate, but we are one. So let's keep this in mind as we go through the week, as we go through the days ahead, and remember that we are a point in the universal consciousness, which is God, and God is in our life in all aspects. I recently filled one of my lifelong dreams on my bucket list was to go to the tomb of Rumi, who was a Persian poet but actually lived in Turkey. And so I was there about a couple months ago, and I actually went there and walked in. And I was going through a kind of downtime where kind of things I didn't seem to find that focus, and where was the next step coming from? And I walked into this place, and it was magical. It really was. There, I think, 1 million people go through there every year. I didn't realize that. Anyway, I walked in, and I stood there, and I just said, okay, just stood there. And all of a sudden, these words and this energy kept pouring through me, and it said, you are the light. You don't have to be anything else. You don't have to do anything else. You only have to be the light, be the love in every day, in your relationships, in anything that you do during the day. That's all you have to do. Be the light of the world. You are the light. You don't have to try hard. You already are. And so there was a statement that came up in, I think it was in one of the readings in the Science of Mind journal. Didn't you love that one that you read today? It was gorgeous. Cynthia James, powerful. Yeah. She has a great, she's written some really good ones this month. Cynthia came to our conference 2 years ago and spoke about the magnificent you, and it was powerful. Rumi says, don't you know yet? It is your light that lights the world. Don't you know yet? It's your light that lights the world. Yours and yours and yours and yours. So we sang the song, one of my favorites, Come Light the World with Me. Oops, sorry. We sang one of those songs today, Come Light the World with Me. And so I'm asking you, I'm inviting you, each one right here. You are the light already. Don't you know that? Come, light the world with me. Join me in lighting the world. And so I have a gift for you today, a May Day gift. And it's an invitation. It comes out of Deepak Chopra's book, Peace is the Way, How to Become a Peacemaker. And these are 7 practices for peace. There's one for every day. And if you accept my invitation to join me and become a light in the world and move this world to peace, as each one of you has the power to do, I'm inviting you to take this card and put it, it's 7 practices, 7 days. Simple practices. Takes a minute or 2 or 5. You can do it in your morning time or wherever you have time, or you could do it together as a family or together as a couple. 7 practices for peace. So I'll just, yeah. And what's fun about this is if you do it as a family, you can use it during the day when there are instances in your relationships that don't sound so peaceful, or in the workplace, or on the highway, or wherever you are. The idea that Chopra has in his book is that there's no way to peace. We're not going to get to peace in the planet or peace in our lives by doing things. There's only one way to peace, and that is to become the peace, to be the peace. And this is what Gandhi said to us, you know. If you want to be the peace in the world, you have to be it. Be it. And so we have to go. It's always one at a time within the individual. The individual has to hold that peace so that when you move around the maypole or you move out into the world, you're in your step. You're in your own peace, and that will bring peace to the planet and peace to this experience. So you can read through it. I'm not going to go through all of the, but each one has an affirmation and an action. So on Sunday, today, being for peace, you just take a moment and put your attention on your heart space, and you repeat. Let's do this together right now. Put your attention, go within to your heart space, to your heart center. Just breathe into that heart space. And repeat, peace. Everybody, peace, harmony, love, laughter. And then your affirmation today, or your action for today, will be, I relinquish all resentments and grievances. I relinquish all resentments and grievances. I remember a statement that Michael Beckwith said, there's no such thing as righteous anger. If you came this morning with some anger, just release it now. Just release it. Let it go. So we will, 7 practices for peace. And it goes on each day that has a different idea and a different thing to do. So I invite you to share this with me and pass it around. We have lots more, and you can give them out to anyone who you think would like to join us. And let's create peace on the world, one individual at a time. And so it is. Namaste.
He's always behind the scenes. People don't see them, but they're the ones that keep this thing going, and it's so wonderful to have them in our lives. So. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music, and Mother Mary, she comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. When I find myself in times of struggle, Mother Mary's gonna come to me, speaking words of wisdom. Just let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is still right there, standing there with me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Sing it with us. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Oh, there will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be. Oh, let it be.
To celebrate our abundance. So as we take our gift in our hand, let's just think about all the great good that's ours. Yeah, come on up and get the baskets, yes. And who's going to do the prayer chest today? Oh, very good. And thank you, Reverend Beth, for being with us. And thank you for this wonderful gift of 7 practices for peace. This can change the world. Yes. So let's take our gift in our hand, and if we have, if we give monthly or we don't are giving exactly today, let us feel that givingness in us that blesses OakBrook by your presence, by your being here, by your being in this wonderful cycle of life, and knowing that as we give, we receive. So let's do our affirmation in unison together. How good it is to know that I am the place where the abundance of the universe flows. And as the abundance flows through me, it is with a grateful heart that I give. I know that as I give, so much more is given back to me. Gratefully and joyfully, I give of my time, my talents, my gifts, and my heart. And so it is. And now if you have prayer requests, hold them up, too. The prayer chest is coming around. Yeah.
To me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me. Back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly.
Let us turn within and feel ourselves in this divine circulation of infinite good. In this moment, I give thanks for our tithes and offerings. I know that OakBrook Center for Spiritual Living exists because it is a divine idea and because of the givingness of each one. The giving of time and talent and money. The center exists. I give thanks for the givingness of each one, and I give thanks also for this wonderful understanding that we cannot outgive God. That as we give, it is multiplied and comes back full circle 10 times as much as we give and more to bless our lives monetarily and in every other way as well. This morning I give thanks also for our prayer requests. We know that the answer to each and every prayer request always and already exists in infinite mind. In that wondrous field of all possibilities, the answer to our prayer exists. And I give thanks that this is so. And let us say together, and so it is. And now in preparation for Ken giving us our spiritual mind treatment, we're going to sing a new to us song. We Are One, and it's another Michael Gott song. So sit so that you can see one of the screens and the words. It's very simple words. And then Ken will give us our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer.
We are one, we are one. Every mother, every father, daughter, son. All the things that make us different are the things that make us free. Now we see we are one, we are one. Now the dance of all creation has begun. We are younger than tomorrow and more ancient than the sun. In the spirit we are many, and we are one. That make us different are the things that make us free. Now we see we are one, we are one. Now the dance of all creation has begun. We are younger than tomorrow and more ancient than the sun. In the spirit we are many, and we are one. In the spirit we are many, and we are one.
The treatment is and affirmation that is realized and recognized in consciousness. My job is easy because all I have to do is say what she said. What she said. I will remember that. And I will remember what she said because it's true and it's beautiful. And I'll be thinking about it this week and probably even longer than that. It's all very important. We do recognize one thing and agree upon it. There's one God, the God of creation, and that is a creation for each and every one of us. The personal God is the one that there is. It's the only one there is. There's one mind. There is one life in the universe. That life and that mind is my life and my mind. A very, very small and infinitesimal part of the universal. What is true for me is true for all. It's true for all here present. All here come here with the unconditional love with them. They bring it with them. Everyone here brings it with them, and that's why it is here, to share with all. Lives are shared. They're all one. And in that unconditional love that is a gift of birth, we have that to help us getting by in life, to help all in understanding who and what they are, to empower them to be better, to be the very best that they can be in regards to their own lives and in regards to their dealing with other people. It helps them in their lives because within each one is peace. The peace of God is within each one. It's there, always. That's what you can be reached in and get. It's here, just waiting. We can use that peace in our own lives and have a peaceful life, right in and as ourselves, and in and as yourselves and around yourselves, in dealing with people with whom you deal. You have that power. It's birth. You had it at birth. You still have it. You will always have it. Unconditional love is yours forever. You have the power to have direction and help in your lives. The presence of your Creator is with you always and available always. There is within each of everyone here present the power to outpicture all the physical perfection that they are physically capable of right here and right now. And that's the truth of their being. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for my word of truth spoken this day. And I can say this, that it is done unto us as we believe. As we believe, is it done unto us. So I surrender this to the law of the universe being God's intention that it should be so. And so it is.
Thank you, Ken. Let's stand, shall we, and form our circle for the peace song? And a reminder is that our Leadership Council will be meeting in this room very soon, the next 20 minutes or so, and you all are welcome to stay for that if you'd like to see what our council does. And our young people are all here. Are they? We got them, I guess. Okay. And before we actually begin to sing the song, I would like to make an announcement, and that for those of you who knew what was happening behind the scenes, there has been a team of individuals here in Florida working toward our satellite campus in Tampa becoming the Eastern Area Regional Campus for Centers for Spiritual Living, and that has happened. So congratulations to, and for those of you who are thinking of going forward and becoming a minister in this movement, this will be a great plus for you to know that the regional campus is in Tampa and convenient for you to attend. Yeah, very good. So you'll more than a little dance. Yeah. Okay, we're ready for the peace song.